Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the flight deck. We're back in Japan, carrying on with our tour, heading from North Japan down to the southern end, and we are currently in Sapporo, where we flew to on our last stream here in Japan. Today we're leaving it here to early morning, just before sunrise, and we're heading down to Sendai. And the weather around here says it's supposed to be raining, so we may get some weather as we head out. But we're going to be flying this ATR72-600 in the Topa Sky livery, and we will be flying for about an hour and a half or so. So should be a good flight. So first thing we're going to do is come up, and we are going to do our preparations, and we can get into the cockpit and get ready to go. Alright, so it is rather dark here, so cockpit preparation is done. Gear lever is down. Get the flashlight out while we do this. Gear lever is down. Parking brakes are set. And we can now pop up top. Turn the battery on. And we can come down and the external power is available. So we'll turn on the external power and we will make sure our dome light is on as well. Alright, so the aircraft is starting to come up and online. We can turn off our flashlight there. And we're going to start the boarding process. While we're here, they're going to have to bust them out as we are sitting on some remote gates.
Boarding requested.
Alright. So we can carry on with our setup. So we're going to come up here. We're going to turn the nav lights on, letting them know the aircraft is powered up. We can pop up top for the warning systems here on the engine.
Do you want to board crew? Passengers bus is coming.
We'll do the squib test on engine 1. That's good. We'll do the fault. Good. And the fire. That is good. Squib test on engine 2. That's good. Fault and fire, making sure we don't accidentally discharge, and that is good. That is our fire test. Gust lock will come down. Gust lock is there. Looks like some equipment's pulling up, and they're about to start loading the bags. Excellent. And we can come up to the prop brake here. Let's see if we can get that on. Says it's ready, so we'll go prop brake, and the prop brake is on for engine 2. No smoking sign and no devices, no seat belts are up. Emergency exit lights are now armed.
Boarding starting.
And windshield anti-ice is now on. So we're going to pop down to the FMC now and start doing some of our loading and getting it up and ready to go. So into the FMC, we can look here at our data. That is all good, and we can come over. These are the 6 things we now have to run through. So for our position initialization, we're going to grab the GPS position, and that now goes in there, so that is set. We can come over now to our nav data, and nav data is in, and we can come over to our flight plan. We'll go into our route, and we can now enter in our flight plan. No SimBrief integration, so this all has to be done manually. So we are departing out of Chitose, which is Sapporo. That's RJCC. And our destination is Sendai, and that is RJSS, and we will put that in. And there we go, and we can execute that. Alright, so our departure out of Sendai is going to be on runway 19er right. If I grab the latest weather, I'll throw it in the chat. Hey, Brian, how you doing today? Hopefully you got the day off. So you can see the weather. Winds are pretty variable at 2 knots. We got some mist in the area. We're supposed to have some scattered showers, a little bit of visibility issues, low clouds, all that good stuff. 1012 is the barrel, and 24 degrees is the current temperature. We'll move the chat window down so it's in its usual place. And we're going to be taking off on runway 19er right, and we are using the DAL B1 departure. There we go, and we can execute that. So there's our first points, and it should take us to Dalby. There's Dalby there. Flying from, oh, okay, cool. All right, so into Dalby, we're going to select that. Our next waypoint on the plan, as I said, we have to enter it manually, is a airway, and we are going on the Yankee 120 airway. I'll put that in there. Yankee 120, and we are going to Rurud, R-U-R-U-D. R-U-R-U-D, and that is Rurud, Japan. All right, and we will return, and then from here we go airway, and it is going to be the 125 airway. I forgot how to do this. The 125 airway, and we are going to Metal, M-E-T-E-L. There it is there, and we can execute that. Return, and we'll go down to Metal, and on Metal we're going airway, and it is the 102 airway, and we are going to, we're not going all the way to SDE. Yeah, it's Monday. Always fly Monday. Monday's tour Japan. Unless I specify in the Discord that I'm not flying. We're not going to SDE. We are instead going... actually, Metal is going to be our endpoint. So let's return. We'll execute that. So Metal is going to be our endpoint. We're then going to go straight in for the RNAV approach. So we're going to go to RSS. We're going to be landing on the RNAV for 09 because the weather currently down there is 090 at 10. So it's the RNAV 09. And we're not doing a star, because all the stars come out of the south. So if we come up here, take a look, we come down to Metal, and Tiles is the one we want. We can remove that discontinuity, execute, and there we go. You're over France at the moment? Well, that's fine. All right, so are they, oh, we're doing baggage still, that's fine. So we can pop down here again. And we're going to go back to our initialization. So that's, these three are done. We're going to go to our weight, and we can start entering in our weight information. So our zero fuel weight for today, just bring it up in my briefing. Where's my weights page? Zero fuel weight is 16,810. 810, come on, 0. Our fuel on board is 2338, and it gives us a gross weight of pretty close. There's our trim and everything. We are good there, and we can return. Units are all good. kilograms, inches. No, we're going HPA over here. And we will return, and our performance initialization. Cruise altitude for today's flight is 20,000 feet. We'll enter that in. And our alternate today, if we can't get into Sendai, is RJTT. And we will fly there at 10,000 feet. We'll get that in there. Not sure why it didn't take the airport. Romeo. Oh, there it did. I just needed a second to figure it out. Alright, so that is our performance initialization all done. And we can go flight plan on that side, and we can go performance, takeoff performance here. We can see we have a 9,800 foot runway. That's good. Transition altitude for this airport is, let me get up the departure, 14,000 feet. It says 18. 14,000 feet, and there's our V speeds. 106, 106, and 110. All right. It looks like it's starting to rain out again. The ground's a little bit wet. Baggage is still coming aboard. Yeah. It is raining out. At least all the passengers are on board. So we are on VATSIM, but we have no current controllers. So what we're going to do is we will come down to our comms. We're going to set 122.800. Enter. That is our COM 1, and on COM 2 we're going to go guard of 121.5. Enter. And that is our guard frequency now set up. Come over to nav. And 116.9 is the Chitose VOR. So we'll set that up just as a reference point. That's fine, and we'll turn that on. ADFs we don't need, there are no ADFs around. ND we're going to go above, that's fine, and we will use terrain radar for our initial departure, but we'll come back to that. Synthetic vision we're not going to use. Surveillance will come over, we're going to be on transponder 1, we're going to be broadcasting 2000. That is good. It is currently on standby. Alright. So we're just waiting on those final bags. And it's definitely raining. So it's interesting how the bags go in the front here between the cockpit and the cabin for the passengers. But today we only have 50 passengers on board as well, so should be pretty good there. And again, we're just waiting for them to finish up the loading here. Alright, so the altimeters we can get 1012. We'll set the barrows.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. This is your flight attendant speaking. At this time, please
now
be sure
set.
to make sure all large
Just
carry-on items are in the overhead bins and your small items are underneath the seat in front of you. If you have any trouble or need any assistance,
There we
please
go.
don't hesitate to let
And
a
that
flight attendant know,
is-
and we would be happy to help you. If the overhead bin is full,
I believe
please
that's
make
set
sure
on
you
both
close it
sides.
as a courtesy to other passengers.
Yes, it is.
Please double check that all your items
And it's
are
set
put
on the
away
standby.
so that the aisle
That
is
is
clear
good.
and other passengers can make their way to their seats. If you're in an emergency exit row, please read the exit seating responsibilities in the card in the seat back in front of you. If you're not able to comply with these actions, please let a flight attendant know.
So before we go into hotel mode, we have to do the whole ground crew hookup with the push, or else it's not going to let us push. So we'll wait. That's the last of the bags going on board. There we go. Alright, they should be pulling the equipment aside any second now. There we go. There's the ding.
And stowed. Please fasten your seatbelt and make sure
We're going to come back over here. We're going to go over to the aircraft.
Upright and locked position for departure. Cabin crew secure doors for departure.
Parking brakes are set and good, so they can pull all the wheel chocks. We'll get the tail prop out. We can close the main door in the back. There we go. And with them gone now, we can close up the cargo door. We're going to leave the ground power connected for now while we get ready for start. So that is now done. We'll call in for push. Alright, and we're going to push back to... we're going to go tail... I guess it really doesn't matter. But we'll go tail left. And then we're going to go it this way and up, and the departure point's just up there. Again, it is just around... I'm looking for... it's starting to see a little bit of light in the cloud there. But it is... there we can see a little bit there. Not sure how that's going to come through. But it is... we are... There we go. You can see we are coming on to sunrise here in Japan. And as we move further south and we get further into the year, we should be seeing more and more, you know, sunrise times keeping up with us. So that should all be good. All right. So traffic here at, I think somebody has filed down to Tokyo, and there was another one that left a little while ago. And if we look down at Sendai now, we are the only aircraft going into Sendai. So that is good. Alright, so we're hooked up. He's going to go in and make sure we are all secured. I don't use the checklist down here. I've got a paper one in front of me. So we are going to go nose, left, tail, right. Okay, we're not ready to release parking brake yet. What we're going to do is we're going to come up now. We're going to throw on the beacon, and we're going to throw on the wing lights. And the wing light will illuminate the engines and let them know we're about to start the engine. So we're going to go engine number 2 fuel pump is now on. We're going to turn on the starter. Prop brake is on. And we can start engine number 2. When we come down here, we can see engine number 2 starting to come up. And we'll come down to the condition lever, add fuel.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the front of the aircraft for a safety demonstration.
Wait for the fuel to come up, or the engine to spool up and stabilize. There we go, we have the spike. Temperature coming back down. We are up. And as you can hear, we have that engine running, and we're going to use that engine to start the other engine on the push. So we're going to come up, we're going to disconnect the ground power, remove that, and we can remove the parking brake. In the event that the cabin loses pressure, an oxygen mask will drop right. Here goes the push.
Start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth.
Alright, so we're going to come up top. We're going to come up to our prop brake. It is not ready to go. We don't have power or enough hydraulics, so we're going to push the button a couple times. Put a little hydraulic pressure in there, get the ready up, and we'll release the prop brake. It's now unlocking, and we have rotation on engine number 2. And now we can start engine number 1. Fuel pump coming on. Starter's already set to start.
Pull the strap
And
to
we'll
tighten.
start engine
To
number
replace
1.
the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting the aircraft. If your life vest does not inflate
Fuel
automatically,
coming on.
blow into the mouthpieces for manual.
And that's just going to give us a normal prop start. There we go. Starting to spin up now. There we are, getting pushed around onto the line. Very nice.
Remind you that this is a non-smoking flight, and that includes vaping. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors located in the lavatories is strictly prohibited by law. All of this information and more can be found in the safety card.
So
located
power management is
back
set
in
to
front of
take
you.
off. Flight
We suggest
directors
reading this and letting
are
the cabin member know if you have any questions. Thank you for flying with us again. and we
both
hope you enjoy
on.
your flight.
Radios are set. Trim. Now we've got power to hydraulics. We can come up on the trim. 1.1 is good. Transponder we have set, although we're not transponding yet. And doors are closed and all that stuff is good. So we can carry on from up top. So oxygen is going to come on. There we are. Hydraulics are on. We'll come down, we'll set the parking brake. And we have 2 good engine starts.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Alright. So we got low pressure on the blue and the green, that's fine. That's what we want to see. We don't have the engines up and running yet until they disconnect fully. Alright, FCP we're going to set up. We're going to set a initial climb speed of, or initial target speed of 170. And I'm going to set a vertical climb of 1,000, which is what I like to do for my initial climb out. That is fine. So that's my speed and climb angle set. And we're going to be climbing up to, right up to our cruise altitude for today of flight level 200. He's clear, he's disconnecting. This takes a little bit. There we go, flight level 200 is set. And we are good there. Going to take a look, make sure they're clear. There, we just got the wave, and he is ready to go. Away he goes. So we're going to come down. We're going to move the engines up into auto, and you're going to hear them sink in and start picking up. There they go. Props are coming forward. Alright, so we're going to pop up top now. And we're going to make sure everything up here is good. Cabin is secure, so we're going to come down, make sure we have no lights on. Make sure we have no lights on. Starter can come off. That's all good. Coming down, we're going to come down here. We can see our probe heats need to come on. Probes are coming on. We're all good down here. De-icing not required. Seatbelt signs and everything are on. Come over to the oxygen good compartment. 21 degrees. We're fine there, and everything is looking good. We could do the annunciator test if we wanted. But that's all looking good. Alright, so hydraulic power, no lights. Flaps we're going to set for takeoff. So flaps go to first position. Anti-skid we will test. We are good. Flight controls, we can release the gust lock. And if we come out, we can see the flight controls are now working. And everything there is looking good. Autopilot is set and is currently off. So we are ready for taxi. Nav lights are already on. We're going to put the logo lights on and the taxi lights can come on. You can see we're looking very nice out here. We'll leave the wing lights on as well. Anti-ice, not required. Outside temperature is 23 degrees. So we are good there. De-ice not required. That's all up. Leads are all on. We checked that. AC electrical is all good. And of course, if we want, we can come down and we can cycle through our systems here. We can look. There's the oxygen, AC electrical, flaps and hydraulics, engines, and back again. But we're going to go over here. That's where we like that one, and we are going to go to ND and leave you like that. All right. So engine instruments are checked. Pitot heats, we checked that they are all on. Starter select mode is off, and we are good for taxi. Now let's see how we are getting there. Sendai area traffic, Skyways 5556, taxiing to runway 19er right from stand 23 via Hotel 6 Delta holding short Alpha 2. All right, we are good. Power up now. And we will taxi out. So again, looks like that rain has moved in. Once we get through the clouds, it should be nice. We're into sunrise.
Please note, the cabin lights will be dimmed for departure and landing. If you require additional lighting, there is a reading light on the panel above you.
At least PAX has not decided to shut down on me. Oh, we went the wrong way. That's fine. There's nobody else here. Did I Sendai? Yeah, we're in Sapporo. There's literally no one here, so that's fine. Get a little bit of power. And we got some hills here. We are running freeware scenery off flightsim.to. So there's Sapporo, Chitose, actually, is what they call it. We'll go up here. We're actually going up Juliet here. Yeah, it's not bad. They've done a whole series. Sendai will be the same when we get there. So one thing I'll have to do is once we're up into the cruise and everything is locked down and we're in autopilot and everything is looking good, I am going to have to go take care of First Officer Molly. She's currently in her crate, and get her some water and take her outside. Here at H3, we're not lining up with my map, that's fine. Alpha 2 straight ahead. Alright. We're going to Alpha 2. Why is that wind blowing that way on the windsock? It's because the wind has come right around and is now really blowing. Interesting. We got room. We're gonna go this way anyway, rather than reprogram everything. Alright, so here we are, 19er right. Must have been a front come through. Alright, so departure configuration. We can come down here, do our takeoff configuration. Yeah, that's okay. Power management, we are confirmed set to takeoff. Speeds are confirmed and set. Altitude is 20,000 and speed of 170. FCP, nav data, and radios. Right, so we are on transponder 1. We are now transponding. TCAS is on auto. That's fine. We'll come over to our nav. And we will put on the terrain radar. And there's our traffic above, ADF, VOR, and our comms channel. Chitose area traffic, skyways 5556, take position, runway 19er right. She's doing good. We've had a few little incidents where she's gotten into things she shouldn't, and she's back in the crate because I'd left her out for a few flights, and she'd done okay, but yesterday she got into something, and she hurt herself. And I don't know what it was. I just heard her basically screaming. So back in the crate she goes. And she's under a little bit more control. We'll turn off those lights there, and we'll taxi out to the center line. Now the throttles on this aircraft are a little bit finicky. You're supposed to put them up into notch, and I find that it's easier for me to do it looking down at the throttles in the aircraft rather than on my controller. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. All right, so we are down. Runway is identified. We are ready to go. So landing lights and everything are on. Strobes are on. Should have done that before we taxied out. Taxi light can come off actually. It says taxi and take off, so we'll leave it on. Transponders on, automatic torque on both. We'll start the clock. Clock is great. It does not, where is it? It does not start until you are actually wheels up. This button? Yeah, I'm assuming it's that button. So that's pretty cool. And runway is confirmed. Alright. So we're going to look down. I'm on the brakes. We're going to bring the throttles up to notch, which is the bottom of the white mark. There we go. And they are in now. And brakes released. Chitose area traffic, skyways 5556. Departing runway 19er right. Departure to the south. Yeah, they are. Very curious. Alright, off we go. Oops. Sorry, I was just looking over at my maps. Alright. And again, with this one, I find I usually want a little bit of extra speed, so I'm not going to rotate till 110. Let's get her back on the center line. There we go. There's 90. 100. And 110. So gentle up. Go. Tail strike. Gear up. Alright, dealing with that wind. Get that speed to start coming up. We can switch over to climb power. Climb power set. Nose down for acceleration. Alright, and we're going to go autopilot. Should be vertical speed and nav. So it's going to bring us up to that 1,000 feet per minute, which we'll use for the initial climb and get that speed coming up. So gear is up. Flaps will start retracting once we're above 150. Power management set to climb. Autopilot on. Yaw damper on. Kill the wipers. Speed slowly starting to come up. There's 150. Bring up the flaps. Oh, there's the sun coming through the clouds. Look at that. That looks pretty awesome. Logo lights went, and we'll get the wing and logo lights off. There's speed coming up to 170. And what we're going to do is go into auto and into VNAV. IAS mode. There we go. She'll hold it at 170 now, all the way up. So we're climbing nicely. We can zoom out a little bit here. 80 miles. And if we pop down here to our surveillance and go into our TCAS, no, not surveillance, nav. And if we go weather radar, see if it's showing anything. I don't think it works. But we are tracking out. Yeah, you're on weather there. Oh, hang on. Maybe it does work. It's off. Standby weather. Ah, there it does. It does work. Ah. You just have to be smart and turn it on. So we do have some weather coming up. We're going to be flying by. There's us turning on course. So we don't have a great climb speed. Of course, we're just a turboprop. But we are off. In about an hour and a half flight time. Unfortunately, there's no in-flight entertainment. This is just an ATR, so it is what it is. It's 20, yeah. It's 40 miles across. This is more of my TCAS warning over here on this side. It's a beautiful light coming through the clouds. So if we look at the weather down in Sendai, we currently got light rain and a few clouds at 400 scattered at 600. And our minimums down there are 278 feet, so not too bad. We should be able to get in no issues. Currently we're heading southwest. We're going to come around the bottom part of the island and then hop over to the next island, which I believe is Kyushu. And there we see our elapsed time is running. Unfortunately, there's no map that comes up here. But we are doing good. Popping back down here, we're on takeoff. We can go to cruise, or we're not on cruise yet. And there's approach. So we're still in the takeoff mode. Since we're climbing all the way up to 20,000 feet, we're just going to go into standard pressure of 29902 or 1013. There's that weather out there. We're going around. And everything is looking good. Turn off the taxi light. Of course, landing lights will come off at 10,000 feet. So as we climb out, let's just do a little bit of clear that there. As we climb out, just a little reminder that if you like what we do here on the channel, please consider subscribing. It doesn't cost you anything, just gives the channel a boost and helps spread the word and build our little community here and make things a little bit nicer. If you like the video as well or the live stream, throw a like on it. Leave comments as well. We'll answer any questions you have. If you do have questions, you can come over to the Discord. You can ask about the sim, about the aircraft, about what we do and what we're flying here and all that good stuff. And as always, if you wish to support the channel, you can use the donation link you can find, or you can consider joining the channel. And there'll be a few perks that are going to come along with that, some emojis and the ability to pick routes and some members only videos as well and live streams. So all options that will be coming along as we continue to grow the channel, so you can do that. If you want to fly along with us, all the live streams are community flights. You can come along and you can find out on the Discord what we're flying, when and where, and you can join us Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays and Saturdays are all on VATSIM, so you have to be on VATSIM. It's kind of regimented. It's strict rules for ATC and all the procedures you follow just like in real life. And that is what we're on right now. Unfortunately, it is the middle of the night in Japan, so there's no ATC up because we are on live time and live weather. Wednesdays and Sundays are done on multiplayer, so if you're in Microsoft Flight Simulator and you don't want, or you're intimidated a little bit by the ATC, you can always come on the multiplayer flights. A little bit more relaxed. You don't have to worry too much about following all those rules, and we're flying some interesting routes with them. On Wednesdays, we're currently visiting all the U.S. capitals. We're flying, well, I'm flying a DC-3 during that, so it makes it for interesting flights. And on Sundays, we're currently supporting the Formula One Support Series, flying the 7478 freighter, and when that's done, we'll be switching over to probably the A330 and doing some long-haul passenger flights with that. Alright, so as we pass through 10,000 feet, we'll turn the landing lights off, and we'll release the cabin, and they can start doing their thing in the back. We do have food service and drink service. You can use the commands in the chat.
The flight crew has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. You can now get up and move around the cabin. However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened when needed in case of unexpected turbulence.
Alright, so everything is looking good. We're climbing at 700 feet per minute right now as we work our way up. We're still under climb power. And since we're through 10,000 feet, that's we'll get a little bit of music on in the background, just to add to the flight. And I think today we're gonna go with some. Let's go with some blues. There we go. So there's 11,000 feet. Now, one thing that I noticed, and I mentioned this in the little how-to videos I did on flying the ATR, you see two different points here. We've got one of them is the predicted one, and the other one is the actual based on weather, climb rate, all that type of stuff that's going on to get you over the hump, as it were. Hey, Dark. Good to see you. Hope everything is well with you. Yeah, we're doing good. Me and the pup, and we're having a nice flight here out towards Sendai. Got some beautiful color in the clouds today as we climb out in the ATR. There we go. There we can see the sun coming up over the horizon there as we do this early morning flight. Hope everything is well with you. And Dark, just to confirm, it will be the 15th of October in London, the Sunday. I'll send you a text as well. Or a message on Discord, anyway. Alright. So we can go fire that one back onto auto. It can start auto tracking. We'll turn on the other one as well. There's the two VORs they are looking for. Set that over to the comms. All right. Coming up on 13,000 feet. See the needle swinging as we pass by, and now we're on to the next waypoint. Looking good. This is the bottom end of the northern island in the chain. The main island's there. Just gonna bring up, see if I can get the island names. So Hokkaido is the North Island. That's where we've left, and we're heading down to the next island, which is, looking for the name of it. See if there's an easier way to do that. It's mixing it with all the prefecture names. Honshu. That's where we're heading, to the island of Honshu. Then it's Shikoku, Kyushu, and Okinawa at the bottom. There we go. Now we got that sorted out. Still climbing up. We're down to 600 feet per minute. She's going to slow down just a couple hundred feet as we climb up. So I'm going to step away for a bit and go take care of Molly. And we'll get the music on. We'll leave you with a nice cockpit view here. And once we get to cruise, I'll be putting her into cruise power and then taking Molly outside for her outdoor time. So I'll be in the chat as well, and enjoy the flight.
moments, our lovely flight attendants will be starting our in-flight service. We'll be serving complimentary drinks and snacks. Premium drinks are available for a small charge. Please note we only accept credit cards.
press the panic button, Prophet. She said, oh, come off it. I said, okay. Don't think I'm gonna be impressed by any of you. Silent, smiling, tough to quit, inscrutable, bandit shit. She said she wouldn't dream of it. But she did. Dream, that is. She dreamed the silent islands, through its soft and bright islands, held away the breath like gold, like an arrow feels when it leaves the bow. They said we sparked each other's fictions. We said, that's good. I bet the farm loves confections. We said, that's good. A leap of faith first sail each ocean. We said, that's good. La vida loca, adios. What do you say? We said, we wouldn't have it any other way. They said, okay. But don't be thinking we're gonna be impressed by any of your bittersweet. Our love's unique, so get used to it. Shit. We said, wouldn't dream of it. But we did. Dream, that is. hitching a ride. Been sucking on pity. Been learning to drink. Been nothing but trouble since starting to think about all the things I can't be bothered to be. I think I'm falling in love. I think I'm falling in love. I think I'm falling in love with the loser in me. We losers got numbers. They can't keep us down. There's just a handful of winners and the rest of us clowns. We're holding your ladder. We're eating your dust. We're standing in line for the back of your bus. Oh, you'll be nothing if it weren't for us. I think I'm falling in love. I think I'm falling in love. I think I'm falling in love with the loser in me. Ain't a wolf in shadow. Ain't a fit for your glove. You weren't by natural selection. Weren't my gift from above. You just movers and shakers. When push comes to shove, you're all just tripping over each other for a loser love. Oh, give 'em some, 'cause winning ain't all it's cracked up to be. I think I'm falling in love. I think I'm falling in love. I think I'm falling in love with the loser in me.
Alright, we're back on the flight deck. We're about 40 miles out from top of descent, so we're going to start getting the aircraft set up and ready for that. I just pulled the current weather down in Sendai, and I will put it into the chat. There we go. As we can see, the winds are 090 at 10. We have a light rain, few cloud at 400, scattered at 600, broken at 800. So we're going to be coming down through a cloud deck. 26 degrees and QNH of 1011. If we come down here and do an update here, yeah, same METAR. So that seems to be what we are looking at. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start getting the ILS plugged in and ready to go. So the way we do that in the ATR is we're going to have to switch off of the FMS, giving us guidance, and switch over to the ILS. But we don't want to start drifting around. So we're going to sync our heading bug with our current course, and then we're going to go into heading mode to hold us here on this course. Coming up here to the ILS selector, or the source selector, we're going to switch over to ILS, which has gone to blue. And we can enter in the information we're going to need for that. So actually it's not an ILS, it's an RNP or an RNAV, so we're not going to have to worry about that. So we can just switch back over now to the FMS and go back into nav mode. The aircraft will be flying itself in on the GPS route, so I thought it was a ILS. It is not, so that makes things a little bit easier. As you see, our top of descent indicator is coming up. So for the RNAV, instead of setting a platform altitude of whatever the number would be for the intercept on the ILS, what we're going to do is we're going to set our descent altitude to minimums, just to make sure that we descend all the way down. So our minimums for this is 278. We're a Class C aircraft, and we will come down here. We're going to switch this over to MDA, so we're going to be using the barrel for the minimums. That's now set MDA. We want to make sure they're both together, or else we'll get a sync issue. And we're going to go to 278 feet. So because we always round up, if we can't go exact, it's going to be 280 feet is set as our minimum. And that's also, we're going to descend down to 300 feet when we set up our descent. As we come down, as we can see, here we're going to come down, start our descent down towards metal, then we're going to make a bit of a right turn, fly out towards tiles, then we're going to make a left turn. It should. They should be within a couple kilograms of each other for the fuel. If you look over here, you can see my fuel used is equal on both engines for this airplane. And if we go to, not sure, yeah, not available. If I go to system, do I have my fuel in here? Yeah, so if we come down here and we look at our fuel tanks, I got 880 kilograms in one sound. On one side and 880 kilograms in the other. Fuel flow is identical, so I mean the engine should be pulling the same amount of fuel for both sides. What does LB? That's pounds. 2.2 pounds per kilogram. Alright, so fuel's all showing good on this one, and for most of them they should be all showing the same thing. Yeah, that's too much. That is way off, and I don't know why it's doing that. That's not good. It should be within a few kilograms or a few tens of pounds of each. It shouldn't be off by 900, whatever that 950 pounds or whatever that is. That's a lot. That is definitely a lot. So we're under 20 miles to go to top of descent. So we're going to come over here now, and we are going to come in and set this down to 300 feet. we'll get ourselves ready for the VNAV to kick in and bring us down. There's 300 feet set. Now the problem with this, I find sometimes you got to play with it, and in this aircraft, Steve. Oh, and by the way, thank you for dropping in and saying hi. I'm not well, we'll see in a minute if there is. What I tend to find, though, is I'm not very trusting. I know it wasn't working well when it first came out. They did an update. It works better. I tend, once I start down and it stabilizes, I switch over to vertical speed, and then I base where I want to be on where it shows my descent's gonna, because it'll have the marker when I pull out, and then I adjust it there to bring it up. It's a lot of manual fussing and faffing about. There's also the issue with the aircraft speed and all that stuff that you got to play with. Making sure you don't overspeed on descent and stuff like that as well. I find I have to manually finesse it as I keep going. Got a lot of heavy clouds out there ahead. I'm going to push this out to 40, just see if we get any extra warning on weather. The VNAV is iffy in the ATR. That's why I tend to use vertical speed. I can't remember if there's a profile that comes up. Well, we'll watch for it. I mean, I'm starting down in about 10 miles, so. K5, your aircraft system is on medium in my city. Your aircraft system is on medium. Aircraft system. What setting is that? Is that an Xbox specific setting? See, I'm running everything on, you know, expert, full tilt realism. But I don't remember a system setting. I'll take a look when we're on the ground, if you can hang on once we're down. But yeah, the VNAV in this aircraft. So there's, okay, so here's the markers coming in. So the VNAV indicators are starting to come in. And what it doesn't give us a top of descent indicator. It will. Assist options setting. On the altitude tape, maybe. I'm getting vertical and lateral deviation indicators, and I've got a indicator here showing up. So this may be, well, I'm also doing a RNP approach, so that may be it there as well for that. So we'll see. We're almost there, so we're going to go over into VNAV path. There we go. We'll see how she holds the path. Alright, I got a 210 knots speed, so we're going to set power for 210 knots. Again, there's no auto throttle, so it's manual settings here. So once it's going down at 210, we have a speed or height altitude restriction at tiles of 2,500. So that's probably what that's indicating. Although it's cleared us down to 300, so it'll complete the RNAV down. And of course, we'll have to go into approach mode. So I'm going to bring the power back. Keep us around that 210. This is the other thing I find. Just a slight movement on the power levers and you go from like a pretty good slow down to speeding up again. But we're holding there 213. We'll just hold it there, right about there. 212. So we're descending down. We're on the path. Yeah. We'll see, but we'll see how it does, where it lies us out. So we're not actually on an arrival, since all the arrivals were basically coming in from the south. But once we hit VNAR, we'll make our call out. Sendai area traffic skyways 5556 descending through flight level 173 inbound to Mattel for the RNP runway 09 Sendai. No, auto mixture is for piston powered aircraft that use carburetors, K9. So, or sorry, K9, K5. So that's for old airplanes, DC-6s, stuff like that. I don't know. No? And now we're doing 14. It's giving us the desired and actual. So you can see it's starting to drift though. So we're going to go back into VNAV. So it stays. Keep an eye on that speed. We're slightly high. It can stay on. That's fine. It just won't make a difference when you're flying a jet airplane. It won't do anything because there's no mixture in a jet airplane. And looks like I got a sim freeze. Oh, there we go. We're back. Keep that speed at 210. So as we come down to tiles, we're going to go into approach mode because we are on the RNAV and we're going to have to use that. So that's fine. That'll bring us in. But we do have the deviation markers. Engine stress disabled, aircraft stress disabled. Yeah, that's fine. So do I. I also have crash off because sometimes with the sim you never know. So it's safer to have it off. Alright, so we're looking good. Look outside there. There's the Japanese coast. Kind of heading straight towards Sendai. If I bring up see if I can locate where it is. So it would seem to be airport's over here. So we're going to come in, we're going to turn out that way and then turn back in for 09. Doesn't look like the weather's that bad. And not really seeing anything on the weather radar, so. There's our turn speeds coming down to 170 now. Alright, so we'll start to bring the power back to idle. The aircraft start to slow. Once we're below 185, we can go to flaps 1. That'll help. Alright, we're down to 13,000 feet, so we're going to come up. We'll throw the seatbelt signs on and let the crew start getting us ready for our landing. There's the mountain ridge there. That could create some interesting wind effects.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seatbelt sign is now turned on, so it is time to return to your seats and fasten your seatbelt.
Alright, so we don't have a weather issue over there. It's actually looking pretty good. Alright, so there's 170 coming up. We'll bring the power throttles up, the power levers up. Just hold us there at 170. I am going to drop the first notch of flaps as well. I'm going to hold that 170. We're not ready to drop to 140 yet. fact, I think we probably slowed down too soon. But we'll hold that 170. Everything is looking good. Alright, looks like the weather has cleared up. The airport's over this way. So again, we're heading out, and then we're going to turn back in for the RNAV approach. I don't use these. I do it manually. So I will go in and go through the FMC here, and I do the loading in through here. So I'll set the fuel load, the weights, and then manually input the flight plan. So K5, just be aware, when we're on the ground, if I go into the fueling page in this aircraft, it's different from yours because it's the ATR. The fueling is different. Although you can do it. If you import, you can import the OFP from SimBrief, and that gives us this information here. If you do the set flight plan, set fuel, set payload, set payload and fuel are probably fine. The set flight plan, though, if there's an issue, I don't know where you can, or an easy way to find where the error is. Without, having to just go through it all again.
Descent into your destination. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray
Alright, there's
tables are
10,000
stood
feet.
in the full upright position.
Landing
Please
lights
also
are
store
on,
any carry-on
taxi
items
lights
either in
on.
the back
We'll
pocket
leave
or
that
under
off.
the
Wing
seat
lights
front
and
of the
logo lights. Logo lights can stay off. It sun's up. Alright, and we will just give them a ding in the back. Can you use pounds? You can use pounds. You have to change the aircraft. Make sure that it wants it in pounds. And you do that through the FMS, the settings for the aircraft. You can change it over so all the displays read it in pounds instead of kilograms. Alright, so there's 9,000 feet. It says we're still on the path. Not sure we're gonna get down in time. Well, we should get down in time. Let's see what it does. You think you need a subscription? Yeah, I find depending on the aircraft, some of the flight plan importations are not 100%, and I get errors, especially doing like transatlantic crossings and stuff like that. So some of that I like to enter in manually. I don't know, K5. I don't enter my fuel that way. When I'm flying the airliners, I enter it through the aircraft itself. I don't enter fuel in through that menu. So it just puts the fuel where it's supposed to go. So there's the mountain range. There's the airport down here. Again, we're going to head out this way a little farther, descending, then come around, and we'll come in for landing. And there's the town of Sendai. So landing speed, if we come over here to our performance, we can see runway length is 9,800 feet. We only need just over 2,000. We're good there. Once it's approaching at 104, and I go around at 115. So I approach at 110 just for the extra stability, and then I will cut from there because I do have the room. No, I rarely ever use the fuel page unless it's something like a little Cessna 172 or something like that. I don't use it. All my fueling is done through the aircraft itself. I tell it when I want and have it load it. All right, we seem to be. I don't want pitch hold. I want VNAV. I don't know why it was doing pitch hold. That's the other thing I find with this. Sometimes it does little things where it kicks out like that. Anyway, let's zoom in again. We're down to 10 miles. Yeah, K5's having an issue. He's on an Xbox using the Latin VFR, and he's finding his engines aren't burning fuel equally. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Alright, so we're going to come in and activate approach mode. We should get the VFP, that's Vector Final Approach. We shouldn't be on pitch hold. There we go, that's better. VNAV path once again. Speed's coming back to 165, so we go flaps 2 at 150. We'll be landing at 110. 5,500 feet. Yeah, we should be okay. So lights are all on. Cabin is notified. We'll just give them one last ding, and everything is good. We're all up there, and we can come over now. Sort of set. So we got the weather. Arrival data is entered in. Torque is good. Radios are set. Engine and taste net required. FCP is set. Landing elevation is on automatic. Minimums are set 280 feet. Approach and missed approach are briefed. We're climbing directly, heading out to SS so 901 and then over to O-bar, which is already preset in the system. Landing lights and seatbelt signs are all on. ILS frequency is not required. Power management, we can now go over to takeoff mode. There we go. Coming around. We're on the VNAV path. That's good. We're going to bring the throttles right back to idle now. Speed coming down. There we are. Beautiful countryside here in Japan. When I was here, I didn't get any further north than Tokyo. I went south, but looking very lovely here. We are inbound. Sendai area traffic. Skyways 5556 is on the RNP09. Sendai, we are 7 miles out. So we're switched over. We're on VFP. That is set. LNAV is good. We're coming down. Everything is looking good. We'll get that speed right back. Gear down. And there's 150, flaps full, making our turn. Airport's kind of in the mist there, so gear down 3 green, flaps full, lights are on, cabin is notified, no cautions. We are good to land. Why do I got that? There we go. So we're bringing that speed back. like that view. I like it down here. Coming down 117. As I said, we're going to bring it down to 110. There we go, 110. We'll bring the power up. Try to keep it there. That was 1,000 to go. 500 feet will take over. Looking lovely. $800 feet. You could. I don't know. Have you tried going on their forums and asking and seeing what anyone has to say there? That's always an option. You know, get the people who know the aircraft to see if they can help. Or maybe some other users that are on there might know. Alright, we are looking good. It's 500 feet coming up. Now, gotta make sure I don't tail strike this time. 500 feet. Autopilot disengaged. Visual flying now. $112. We'll bring the power back slightly.
Approaching minimum.
We have manual brakes and we do have reversers on the props though.
200.
Looking good. There's 110.
Minimum. Minimum.
Landing. A little bit of trim to help bring off the pressure. 107.
100.
106. That's our reference speed. A little bit of power.
50.
Try not to flare too much or we're going to strike the tail.
20. 10.
And we're down. Nose down. Reversers on. Push that nose down. There's 60 knots. Reversers off. We're going to keep rolling down here to the... we're going to get off at Bravo 4, which is coming up. There it is. Now, as I've mentioned
Ladies
before...
and gentlemen, we have reached our destination. The local time is 6:34 a.m. and it's currently about 26 degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop
Thanks,
and the
Steve.
seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins as items may have been shifted during the flight. We thank you for flying with us and we hope to see you again soon.
As I have mentioned before, what you're supposed to do is shut off the number 1 engine, taxiing on 1, but I find it's a little hard to control. Sendai area traffic, Skyways 5556, clear runway 09 at Bravo 4, taxiing to the terminal via Charlie and the apron. So we're going to go for parking spot 11? Or 12. Let's see if we can get 12. Show me the spot. No. Just put the equipment there. I will find it. Alright, so as we roll in, we're going to turn off the landing lights. We're going to turn off the strobe lights. Wing lights will come off. That is fine there. Flaps all the way up as we head up here. So the gate should be somewhere around here. Just keep an eye for that. Oh, thank you. Thanks, K5. That wasn't bad actually. I'll show you why I worry about tail strikes. Just give me a second here until we get her in and parked up. Just looking for my parking spot. Did I say 12? Yeah, I said 12. What do we got here? There's 13. Ah, there's 12, yeah. Alright, so that's all good. Make sure the taxi light's off. Alright, so here's 12. We'll bring her in. And get ready to shut her down. All right. Just gonna watch here. And there we go. Welcome to Sendai. So let's get the parking brakes on. We come over to the aircraft. We can get them to hook up the ground power. So popping up to the overhead. We're going to do some final checks here so the probe heats can come off. And that's good. We're going to let the engines run for a second. Ground power will go on. We're going to go AC and DC ground power on. That is set. We're going to come down here to the condition levers. Both are going to come down to FTR. You can hear them spooling down. Normally you'd let them run for 60 seconds as they start to come down, but that's fine. And we are good to stop the engine. So let's pop out for this. We'll stop engine 1 first. And engine 2. Steve, I don't know. I usually just fly them, and see. I didn't get a tail strike on takeoff, and I didn't get a. Or I don't think I got one on this one. Maybe I did. I can't remember. But no tail strike on landing, so that worked out very well. All right, so that's the engines are down. Beacon light can come off. All these lights are off. We can let them go in the back. DC power is connected. Seatbelt signs are off. Up to the fuel pumps. Fuel pumps are off. The oxygen will go off. That's over here. And the flight directors on both sides off as well. We can clear the cautions. And we can start to unload the aircraft.
The boarding requested.
All right, so while they start deboarding and send all the stuff out to do that, just pop up here into the fueling menu. So as you can see on the ATR, it's just a left tank and a right tank. But like I said, I don't fuel in here.
Passenger's bus is coming.
I would suggest, K5, if you are fueling in here, just use the percent. Let it put the fuel where it wants to put it. And that way, hopefully, it'll do that. Now, are you sure for the Latin VFR Airbuses there is not a fueling system set up inside the aircraft itself that you use either through through an EFB such as this or somewhere in the system settings down here on the FMC? That might help as well. Put the gust locks on as well. That's done. That's done. We are good there. Flaps are all up. Oh, should probably turn off the transponders.
Passengers deboarding starting.
So that's off. That's off. Come down to surveillance, transponder to standby. All right. So that's going to do it for today's flight. Hope you enjoyed, everybody. And if you want to come over to the Discord, say hi, it would be greatly appreciated. Don't forget also, if you enjoy what we do here, consider subscribing, hitting the like, sharing it out, and doing all that great stuff. If you really want to support the channel, you can donate And if you want to become a channel member, it would be greatly appreciated. There are added perks coming, including things like emojis and private members-only videos. And also, at a certain level of membership, you can request flights. And there you go. So, Steve, yeah, I do all my planning through SimBrief, though, so I got a full flight plan that tells me how much fuel I need and all that stuff. Sometimes I do that, but engine 2 still shuts off. I'm wondering if you're taking it. How are you calculating your fuel? I'm wondering if you're taking enough, but I'm not sure. Try the reinstall. That might fix it. If not, I would suggest going over to... thanks, Steve. Have a great night. I would suggest going over to Latin VFR's forums and seeing if someone can help you there who knows more about it than I do. That's all I can suggest. Sorry, I can't do more, but I'm not familiar with it, and I'm certainly have no experience doing this on an Xbox. So I have to go take care of First Officer Molly. Thank you very much. We will see you. We are flying again tomorrow. Tour of Canada, and we are flying the A320 from Whitehorse in the Yukon to Yellowknife in the Northwest Territories. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.